I want you to first of all take a look at these wonderful standards. And the great thing about Common Core geometry is that they attempted to summarize what you need to know in high school geometry. And many of you know we've been working under an umbrella of proving triangle theorems and proving theorems of congruence. Am I right about that? How many know that? Raise your hand. We've been working on side, angle, side. We've been working on HL. We've been looking at the 5 ways you can tell triangles are congruent. Well, today there are things called special segments that we're concerned about. And these 2 particular standards address those great segments. There are 3 things that I want to introduce you today, and that's why I wanted you to have 1, 2, and 3 on a piece of paper. First of all, let's take a look at what we need to know quickly by the standard. The first standard is high school geometry standard, and it is number 9, dealing under the umbrella of congruence. Okay? Prove theorems. Everybody see that about lines and angles? Theorems include, now some of this, most of it, since it's a summary that they have summarized the Common Core standards, then we hope to pick out what we're interested in today and addressing out of the standard. But it says vertical lines are congruent. We've looked at that. When the transversal crosses parallel lines, alternate interior angles are congruent. Corresponding angles, I heard the word corresponding today, it's wonderful, are congruent. But look, Mr. Williams neatly underlined one of the special segments that we're going to be looking at today. That's part of the standard. Points on a perpendicular bisector of a line segment are exactly equidistant from the segment's endpoint. And let's look at 10. Just absorb the idea of what the standard is. It's great to know where you need to be and where you're going. That's the purpose of reading the standard. The second standard addresses also a special segment. Okay? Prove theorems about triangles. Oh, that's the great umbrella that we're under. Theorems include measures of interior angles of a triangle from the 180. We know that. Base angles of a isosceles triangle are congruent. The segment joining midpoints of 2 sides of triangle is parallel to the 3rd side and half the length. That's one we may have not explored, but neatly I've underlined the special segment we're going to be looking at today. The medians of a triangle meet at a point. Let's look at these special segments. And remember, it's under the umbrella of assisting us in proving triangle congruence and proving the idea of proofs of the congruence to the triangle. Okay, all eyes up here. If I had a triangle, drew a line segment to this point, and I put those 2 markings. I want you to talk to a friend, talk to a neighbor, and give me an idea of what this actual point might represent.
Oh, yeah.
Did I hear it already? Are you finished talking? Anyone? Any ideas what that?
It's the midpoint.
It's a midpoint. Very good. It's a midpoint. Very good. How about this point here? Any ideas what that point might be called at the top of a triangle? Anyone? Very, very excellent. Very, very good. It is the vertex. These things are essential, and one thing that Mr. Williams wants to introduce is the idea of a word wall, or wall of words. Word wall? It's good to know some ideas that you're dealing with. What are some of the points that we're going to be looking at? Well, the first idea And the first word that I'm interested in is median. You can write that down. The second word on our word wall is the idea of altitude. And then the third segment is perpendicular. Bisect. Those are the words that are important to us today. And so the first word I want to give you an idea. And since we looked at the standards this afternoon, and one of the standards poses the idea of medians of a triangle meet at a point. And so we want to discover, and that's what I want you to put on the paper if you get an opportunity before I do, to get an idea of what the definition of the word median might mean. I want you to take a moment, talk to a neighbor, talk to a friend, look at this diagram. I want you to write down that definition that you're going to share out with us of what do you think the definition. I want you to write it out, number one on that piece of paper. The definition of the word median.